Hello and welcome to Creative Cousins. If you're new here, we are two cousins and we make art. Today's topic is about the famous fashion photographer Helmut Newton.
Ooh.
So we have no recent creations today because this is a little bit of a longer topic. We're just going to dive right into a little bit about his life. We're going to look at some of his work. We're going to discuss and then we will end with a nostalgic memory.
Yeah. I'm excited. Thank you for doing the research for this, Allie. I appreciate that. I know zero things about this person, and so I cannot wait for you to educate me and everybody here. Or maybe we
Sounds
have
good.
people that do know very much about this person, and that'd be great too.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure we do. I learned a lot today and yesterday as I was researching Helmut Newton. But basically, he was born in Berlin, and he fled Nazi Germany when he was 18 years old.
Oh wow.
So, yeah, he was actually born into a wealthy Jewish. He was born into a wealthy Jewish family. His original last name was not Newton. It
Oh.
was Neusch. I'm gonna butcher this. It's
Okay.
Neustadt. I don't know how
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah, yeah.
actually pronounce that.
We'll have to put that
Um,
in post.
his family decided to flee like right after Kristallnacht, and he left Germany and went to Singapore, where he found work as a photographer, and then was transported to Australia, where he apparently joined the armed forces. So I guess he did do some work though for I want to say he did. I feel like I read that he did work for Australian Vogue. Interned in Australia, yeah, then built a photography studio in Melbourne. That's where he started using the name Newton. Um,
Oh.
yeah, he didn't start using that name until he was outside of
Well, I
Germany.
mean, that's a lot of life to live just before you even get to Australia. Like, that's a lot of different,
Right, and
like,
that's a lot to go through at age 18.
yeah.
Um,
What age did he get to
yeah.
Australia? So he went to Singapore first, you said, and then he went to Australia?
Yeah. He traveled to Singapore, I guess, until 1939, so he was really only there for like a year or so,
Oh.
and then went to Australia. But
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So yeah, still fairly really young then. Okay.
Yeah, but it's like I mean, I guess people kind of assumed that like his kind of early years were really transformative, and that's why he became like so like his work was so good because he just like went through so much. His work ended up being pretty like it was pretty bold for the time. Like it was, I guess, what you would call like provocative. It was kind of provocative for the time.
Yeah.
He ended up also collaborating with like British Vogue. I think maybe so it doesn't actually say that he worked for Australia Vogue. I'm not really sure like if there's some sort of because it says he was transported by British authorities to Australia. So
Transported. Okay.
like I'm thinking like did Britain have like an influence on Australia at this time? I don't know enough about history to like
Oh, I
know.
didn't even think about that. But I mean, yeah, originally they did. I'm not sure at what point Australia kind of had more independence from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he might have been working for British Vogue while being in Australia then. I don't really know like
Okay.
the exact like turn of events on that, but
I honestly,
um
to be fair, and no offense to anybody in Australia, I have a real lack of knowledge in Australian history. I apologize.
yeah, no worries. This isn't like a podcast about history anyways, but if people want to fill us in the comments, that's completely fine. I also did forget to mention that I guess when Helmut was really young, he did intern or he apprenticed under a fashion photographer in the 1930s. So like before he was even 18.
Oh,
He apprenticed under Eva, I think is how you say it. Yeah, so he has been into it, or he started in very young.
Yeah, start
He
early.
really became more prominent in the 1960s in fashion and portrait photography, mostly due to his collaborations with Vogue and his partnership with his wife. She was a model. She edited like his books, curated his exhibitions. He I think he had two books. The first one was called White Women,
Just called.
and yeah, and I think it was just a collaboration of his work. It's like a collector's book kind of.
So it just has only like white
Um,
women in the book, basically, just like as like models, like just like portraits of them, or
it's a good question actually. Um, it wasn't his most famous book. It was just his first. I think his second one was more famous. It was called Sumo. I am actually curious, so I'm looking it up.
okay.
And I cannot actually find info on that right now. But if anyone knows, feel free to let us know in the comments. His second book was what really established him as like kind of like the only person who was doing what he was doing.
What was the second book again? Like what was in the book?
Called Sumo, and it came out in 1999. And
Oh, much later.
yeah, so this was much later, but there was only 10,000 copies made, and the first volume was signed by over 100 of his celebrity subjects.
Oh
So like
wow.
a lot of people that were like portrayed in the book like signed it. It sold at
Oh
auction for like just under a $500,000, making it the most expensive book published in the 20th century.
wow, that's pretty wild.
Yeah. And then
Um,
the rest of them, I think yeah, the rest of them were signed by Newton himself, but there was only 10,000 of them. And it included over 400 photographs, and a lot of them had previously been like unseen or unpublished. So that
oh
was kind of like a big deal.
yeah. I wonder why they call it sumo then. I wonder what that name like comes from. Like
I do too. I honestly was wondering the same thing. I also still wonder about the name White Woman. I did watch like an interview of him today, and he was basically saying like, or he was asked why he went into fashion photography, and he was basically just like, well, I like to take pictures of women. And he was like, particularly beautiful women. And he was like, I really like, I mean, like, how often do you get to like photograph not only like beautiful models, but like beautiful models that have like really talented makeup artists do their makeup, and then they're wearing like the best like fashion and the most latest fashion.
yeah,
He was like, I love photographing women, but if I just photographed any woman, I wouldn't be able to make like a living from that.
sad fact of
Um,
life.
yeah. Um, yeah, he was known for sort of his bold style, provocative images. The women were often portrayed in like positions of power, kind of like, which for the time that was like really kind of provocative because women
Yeah,
were pretty like submissive at the time. So having
yeah,
them be like boldly like, you know, asserting themselves was really like, wow, like this is kind of like women don't
yeah.
behave that way, sort of thing. Like I'll talk a little bit more about that when I talk about his Nova series, because those were again like women doing stuff that like people were like, oh, like women don't act that way. Like that's really different. But I do wonder, yeah, I just wonder like where he gets that sort of inspiration or where he got that sort of inspiration from,
Right.
like in his personal life.
Yeah.
But that was also a big theme, like in his work, was like power and kind of like putting women in these roles of like assertiveness and dominance.
Well, yeah, I guess
His,
that would be a big deal in the 1950s and 60s, I imagine. Probably
yeah,
why they're so popular.
he liked putting models in like real life locations. He didn't love like studios as much, which is something I kind of relate to him on. Like he would use like natural or like suburban like landscapes. He would put women like on top of cars, like have like photograph them on top of like sedans. One of his most famous photographs is called Private Property. So I'll start my screen share now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited to see what these provocative photos are and if they would still be provocative even in current day and age.
But in his interview, he mentioned there being a time. Oh yeah, they didn't say which photo it was. They just said the year. And I can't remember what year it was, but they mentioned there being a time where one of the publications of the magazines from Vogue got out and they sent it out without a second thought. Like the all the editors, like himself, didn't think there'd be anything special about it.
Yeah.
But there was like a big reaction from the media because the media and the public saw it as like kind of pornographic. Like they were like, "Oh, porn has made it into Vogue now." Right? Like Vogue is now publishing like pornographic type material. And I think he had mentioned it was a photo shoot with two women and one man. So the provocativeness about it was like I think that like threesome idea. But he hadn't like as far as I know, like it wasn't actually depicting a threesome. And people were putting that on him as a photographer, saying like he must have had the idea,
Right. They
he
were
must
kind
have
of
like
projecting.
orchestrated that to be kind of provocative in that sense. But he basically in the interview was like, well, that's just something people are assuming. Like they don't really know. Like what if Vogue just had two dresses that they wanted to show off on two different women and they were being chintzy and they only sent one man instead of two,
What?
or something like that. Like he said something along those lines.
It's funny.
Like like he was basically saying like how well you don't know that that was my intention. The first photo that I want to show that I was talking about was the private property photo. It's a black and white photo. He was also really known for his like very highly contrasted like black and white photos.
Ooh, I really like the contrast of like the white and the black. It's very dramatic.
Yep, he was known for that, like specifically that type of black and white, dramatic type of bold photo.
Yeah.
I imagine that he must have, in order to get that much contrast, he must have been shooting like
Direct.
in like midday,
Yeah.
direct sun or something.
This looks like really direct
Which
sun.
is yeah, which is why like yeah, I really like this black and white. Um, I feel like this for me is like I when I look at this photo, I kind of just am reminded of like Halloween costumes, but like I could see how like that was super provocative at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, even yeah, because she's showing a decent amount of like leg and stuff, which but now I feel
And
like
she's
that
like
wouldn't
holding a
be that.
cigarette and
Oh yeah, I the cigarette. Yeah, right. I didn't even notice that. You're right. I think
but yeah, like
I think
now this would be
nowadays
like
it wouldn't
nothing.
be a big deal, but I feel like the cigarette thing would be a bigger deal than the nudity, like because I feel like
True,
now
because
we
people
don't.
don't like that.
Yeah,
People don't
yeah,
like promoting like smoking anymore.
yeah, exactly. So like that would be more controversial,
Yeah. Um,
which I'm fine with that being the controversial bit than the
right.
nudity, not the revealing clothes. But yeah, I also like the way that her head is turned.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, there's something about it that feels very like effortless.
Yeah,
Um, like it's obviously very posed, and he talks about this in his interview. He says he never just like he never just lets whatever happen or tells somebody to oh envision that you're a you know and then insert something about what they are.
yeah,
Um, like he everything was very like I think directed
yeah. He had a
um
vision.
and planned. Yeah, everything was very planned. Nothing happened. He said nothing happened on accident. So that was kind of interesting.
That is interesting.
And another one that was very provocative at the time. So this photo was 1984.
Good ear.
But even before that, he did a series of, they're called big nudes,
Okay.
and they're literally just big nudes.
Okay.
Like,
Well,
there's nudes.
so for the YouTube version, I'm gonna have to decide whether or not YouTube will get mad at me for big nudes, but we will deal with it later.
Oh, true. I didn't even think of that. Okay, so I'm gonna see if it will let me. The quality on this small one is just not good, so I think I'm gonna have to show them individually or just show one of them. All right, so here's an example of one of them that he obviously signed.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, he did sign it. Do you know who the model is? Like, is there
So there were more than one model for this. It was like a series. I don't know who this particular model is. As he got more like into his career, like later on, I'll show some images of some people that were famous. Yeah, very dramatic. Again, with the black and whites. So the next one I'm gonna show is, and I'm gonna butcher this, Piscine Deligny. Deligny.
I don't know.
Um, it is a fashion shoot in a public pool, I believe, in Paris. Explains the name.
Oh, because we said piscina, it sounds like piscina, which is pool in Spanish, and so I thought that,
Exactly, yeah.
yeah,
I knew what that word meant and I knew how to say it, but I did not know the second word. I think it might just be a place. Um,
right, that makes sense.
but this one was kind of notorious because like it was described as like, and when I look at this, I do not see like scantily clad women, but this was considered like daring.
Is it just because there's like a lot of people that are sort of somewhat just not that clothed?
Yeah. Yeah, like
Okay.
there's a woman there, I think that's not wearing a top. And then
Oh,
there might be
yeah.
one in the background that like either isn't wearing a top or is wearing a small swimsuit. So yeah, I guess this was really like one of his more famous earlier ones.
He's just like, yeah, people are mad because there's a lot of like young people all hanging out and they're not like being shy about their body, I'll just say. Maybe, or like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think in the
People were saying
time
it.
that would be probably controversial, I would assume.
Yeah. I mean, it's really contrasted, right? Like this black and white is really contrasted, and even like the pose of the model in the forefront of the image is like so contrasted to like the people who are casually just hanging out behind her.
Yeah,
Um, like it's really different.
there's a lot going on. That's why I'm like when he says that he doesn't that everything is like there's like no accidents or whatever he said.
Yeah,
Because like that would be a lot of people to have to like okay,
direct.
you go there, please hold that
But yeah, so
pose.
he knew that these people would just be casual and he wanted to do something not casual, like right in front of them probably.
Yeah, like there's definitely a difference between the ladies in the front and people in the back. I mean, they're wearing like mostly all black, like very, very like dark clothes at least. And then everyone else is like, yeah, it's definitely a huge contrast. It's very interesting. I wouldn't say it's
Yeah, no,
that,
I think
yeah.
this isn't like my favorite one, but I do think it is really cool. And yeah, it's something a lot of people wouldn't like think to do. So,
Yeah.
the next one I'm gonna show, I guess I don't really know what the meaning is on this one. Maybe somebody can tell us what the meaning on this one is because it was apparently politically charged. I'm assuming it has something to do with like Germany, because it's called Brandenburg Gate and the Berlin Wall.
Well, it was
Um,
the 80s, right? So it's probably about 70s or 80s.
yeah, it was 1987. I just like am horrible with history and dates. I was never good at history. I slept through all my history classes in high school. I was voted the class sleeper at the end of the year,
Really?
for superlatives. Yeah.
I never knew that. I can't believe I've never
I didn't
known
tell you
that.
that.
Oh my
I guess this could be
God.
This could be our nostalgic memory.
Except it's not for me. It's not nostalgic to me because I've never
I
known
know.
that. What the heck?
It was actually not just me. There was two of us, so both me and my best friend were voted class sleepers for period 6 in history
Wow.
class.
That's so funny
Yeah,
and
funny and
fitting.
embarrassing.
Yeah. We've all done
Um,
it. We've all
it
been
was
there.
because the class was like right after lunch. I'd always be so tired right after 8 after lunch.
It's okay because when I was in high school, it's even worse because I took a driving school and I would be falling asleep in driving school, but not while driving, just during the
I was gonna
lectures.
say
He's like, you need to pay attention. I was so fucking tired.
that's funny. Yeah, I mean that's relatable. That's late at night too, usually.
Well, it was like after school. It was like 3 o'clock or
Yeah.
something.
Well, yeah, after school. Yeah. Depends. I feel like my driving classes were later. I feel like mine were at like 6 or 7.
No, yeah, it was like after school, and I that was the time of my life, senior year, where I was skating through that last couple semesters.
Oh yes, I remember how that felt too.
Anyway, sorry.
No, it's fine. Fine, we're allowed to diverge from the
We're
subject. This
loud.
is a podcast. This is why this is a podcast and not a historical documentary. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
And yeah, like I said, don't know the meaning exactly behind this one. Wish I was better at history, but gonna share. So this one kind of differs from his usual black and white style
Yeah, it's
because
very
it looks like
sad.
it wasn't shot. It looks like it wasn't shot during the daytime.
Yeah, I don't think it is because it looks grainier too.
Not only is it grainier, but it looks like there's like telephone poles that are, or not telephone poles. It looks like there are streetlights that are on.
Oh yeah, and the streetlights. Yeah, you're right.
So it looks like it was taken at night. And I don't know who the girl is. I don't know the story or anything.
I don't know. It looks kind of like a haunting photo. It's kind of creepy. It's like a very
Yeah.
like she has very expressive eyes in here, and like just the way her posture is, and you can like see the writing on the wall. Literally, there's like writing on the wall. And yeah, and then to be fair, I do not know much about the Cold War. Like I really don't. And the the Berlin Wall, I'm not sure, not too familiar. But yeah, it does definitely seem like that is in the time. This would be a really like meaningful photo. I would feel like,
Yeah, I agree.
which seems very different than what his other. Not that his stuff wasn't meaningful, but it just seems like this has like more of like a historical
It kind of
message.
deviates from the like fashion, like,
Yeah, I mean, she's wearing like I think probably a nice fashionable top. So
yeah.
she still looks like a fashion model to me, but yeah, so it does seem like out of place. It's like why is she
Yeah,
there?
it
There's a
seems
lot of
more almost like
questions you're asking. Like,
it to me it feels more like a documentary image than an editorial one.
yeah, very fascinating. Yeah, it's like why is she there? What's going on?
Yeah.
It makes you wonder like what's happening here.
So the next one is going to go right back to his fashion work. This is the one I was talking about where he did a bunch where women were kind of like he portrayed these women kind of rebelling.
Okay.
Um, but this was actually interesting because this was during the time that he actually wasn't working for Vogue. So he had a time where he was actually fired from Vogue, like was working for other magazines during that time. And I was trying to find more information about like why he was fired from Vogue and like what happened there. And I was able to find some information on that. They made this kind of into a series of like Helmut Newton fired. It focuses on his editorial work for fashion magazines of the 60s and 70s that weren't Vogue. So like Elle, Queen, Nova, and Marie Claire.
Oh.
And I guess he was fired from French Vogue in 1964. And this is the story. And this is in his words. In 1964, I was commissioned by Queen magazine to photograph the revolutionary collection by Courageous. I'm assuming that's a designer. The fashion editor, Claire Rendlesham, decided on a journalistic scoop showing only my Courageous photos and excluding all other fashion houses from her Paris report. When Queen, the magazine, landed on the desk of Francois de Langlade, the then associate editor-in-chief of French Vogue, she hit the roof. I was called into her office. We had a tremendous row. She accused me of treachery and disloyalty and wanted to know why I had not told her about this scoop. I pointed out to her that I had no exclusive contract with Vogue, and it was, of course, understood that I would never divulge any ideas developed by French Vogue to Queen or vice versa. So I was kicked out of all halls of Vogue, only to return in 1969 when Francine Crescent was appointed editor-in-chief. During Francine's regime, I did what I considered my best fashion work. I was to be a regular contributor until 1983.
Wow.
So the news of his being fired from French Vogue reached the editor-in-chief of Elle, who offered him work on the magazine. He continued working for English and German magazines, and during that time, he made a lot of the images I'm going to show now.
Well, they can't really get mad at him that much because they never had a
They never had a contract for him.
yeah,
All he did was collaborate with them. He wasn't solely working for them. Like, it sounds like he was kind of just doing freelance work on
right.
like a case by case basis for
Yeah,
Vogue. So they were pissed, I guess, that he did something else for someone that they felt like they should have known about.
right.
I, I don't know, some kind of political thing like that.
And they
But
were probably just
it's just,
mad and jealous
yeah,
that they didn't get
they're, they were
it.
literally just jealous.
Yeah.
Um, they were jealous that they didn't think of it themselves. And yeah, these were considered rebellious.
Well, I mean, she is throwing a chair. So
Yeah.
that
So
is,
women did not do violent things like this in the 60s, okay?
yeah. Have you even seen any women pick up a chair before? Can't even imagine. Can't even
Yeah.
imagine throwing a chair. You kidding me?
So here's one of them. I'm going to show the next one. Okay. So this one was because she was wearing weapons and holding a grenade.
I love the color green.
Yeah.
This is a very pretty
When I
color.
first saw this image, I honestly, like, I saw it and I was like, oh, this is film. Like, it doesn't immediately strike me as being like a film image for some reason. It
I
doesn't
think I know
also
what you're
look
talking about. Yeah.
it didn't look that vintage to me. I was like, oh, like this is one of the series? Like I don't know why this one looked different than the other ones, but
I think it looks
um
shinier. It just looks like
yeah, something
it's not
about
as
it kind of
matte.
glows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but I
Like
love the
it's
boots.
more contrasted. Yeah. And I guess he's known for that, but
She
I do
looks
love the
like
boots.
she's
Yeah.
like ice skating,
She looks like she's happy, even though she's about to throw this grenade.
which I think is the whole message.
Right.
We're just happy to.
Maybe he was like very angry. He got fired from Vogue.
Wait, was this the 60s? Like this image?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
As
This
far
is
as
to
I
be.
know, it was the 60s because this
Yeah.
all happened. I think this all happened between like 1964 and 1969 when
Yeah.
he was basically banished from Vogue.
Yeah. This, I mean, I don't know if it has much to do with being banished from Vogue, but like just in that time period was like a whole movement. At least like yeah, that's when like the hippie movement started is in the 60s. Like you're going to get a lot of like, we want, peace and love, peace
Peace.
and love.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah. So this was probably like
this is
going against the
a
grain
this
here.
is a definitely a statement about the opposite
Wow.
side. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the main reason.
I mean, yeah, that's crazy.
I
I
like
mean,
this color a lot though.
maybe he had a certain feeling about that. Like sometimes conflict is necessary, right? Like I don't know. Maybe okay, next.
I love this picture. It's
So
hilarious.
yeah,
What is she
it's really funny.
holding? What's that
I think
lady?
it's funny because like mainly her hair
Yeah.
and like this looks like it could be candid, but he kind of says that he doesn't really do candid. So I think this was at least in part directed, but like just like yeah, the hair like I don't know what she has in her hand. Is that like a jalapeno
I
pepper or something.
love
It just like makes no sense. Maybe because she's like eating something spicy, he thought like her
it makes
hair
her
would be
hair
like
stand
standing
up.
up. I thought it was like a little miniature like wiener dog when I first
That's what
looked
I
at it. I
thought
thought
when
it
I
was like a little
first saw
hot
it.
dog. But now I'm like, maybe it was the jalapeno.
The girl on the right
Um,
is so funny. I don't know. She's funny
yes.
too. Like her reaction
I
is so
also love
good.
like the use of like direct flash here.
Yeah, the flash really works in this situation. Like it's like
Yeah.
shocking. It's like
It makes it really contrasted.
she's given Marge Simpson, and it really works with the hair. That's so funny.
Yeah. Yeah. So this was like a good one. And then this is the last from this series that I have. These were actually really hard to like nail down. There aren't many sites that I could download from that like had all the images in one place.
Right.
Um, so I only have one more, and that's this one. So like I don't know, so many things are like going on here. I think that's like an ice pack on her head.
Oh,
I'm
okay. I was
assuming
wondering what that was.
I'm assuming that she has a hangover because she's got an ice pack on her
Yeah.
head, like, because she has a headache, I'm assuming, right? And then she's holding a glass of water with Alka-Seltzer in it. And like Alka-Seltzer
Oh.
back then, like people would take that for hangovers. Um,
I really like it's weirdly almost symmetrical, but
and the only
not.
reason I know that, I feel like I know that from like a movie that was supposed to take place around the same time. I feel like, or maybe, actually, you know what? Maybe it's Wolf of Wall Street. Have you seen Wolf of Wall
I've
Street?
never actually seen it.
I feel like there is a scene where he drinks Alka-Seltzer because he's hungover, but I don't remember if it's that movie or if it's another movie I'm thinking of. But yeah, I actually didn't notice that when I put this photo in here. I didn't notice the Alka-Seltzer. I didn't even look at this glass, but it's clearly cloudy. Like there's something in there that's dissolving.
Yeah.
And then she's smoking a
I
cigarette,
love the
obviously, and she's got
smoke.
the.
I don't support
I think she's got
cigarettes,
the mask
but
on. You don't support the what? Oh, the cigarette?
cigarettes, but I love the smoke.
Yeah,
I love like the way that it looks. Like it looks so like
yeah.
it
I think
just
it's so
fits
cool, and
so
like the
yeah.
the mask, I mean, I'm assuming the bright lights are making her headache worse.
Yeah, that
And
makes
she
sense.
must be like at the office or something. But
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
she's very provocative for the time. Because this is like, it's the 60s. Like, this is a man's role, right? To go into the office, you're hungover, maybe you get
Right.
your Alka-Seltzer and your cigarette, and like,
I love
yeah,
the outfit. Love that
me
vest.
too.
So cute. But yeah, like exactly. This is like very like Mad
Like, women
Men.
didn't do this. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Mad Men, but like roles reversed, like
Yeah, yeah.
putting women in the seat of being this high powered, like,
Yeah.
um, yeah, so it's really cool.
Yeah, I love that
And
this came from the 60s.
I
It's
actually
awesome.
watched a this photo isn't in here. Maybe I will actually look it up and add it quickly, but I watched a video, a YouTuber that wanted to recreate one of Helmut Newton's photos that he took in the streets of Paris.
Ooh.
And so he actually found the original model that Helmut Newton worked
Aw.
with. He didn't actually use her for the image because she's much older now, but he had her help him like set it up. So he
Aw.
had her like help him tell her because she knew exactly where they went to the same street, the same spot. She knew exactly where she was standing, like at what.
So
She was
cute.
like, I was standing like on the highest point of this slope here. And she isn't like super, super old, by the way, but she's just like, old. And the other model, yeah, she nailed it. But I
That's
will
so
see if I can
endearing.
I'll see if I can find that photo.
It's okay if you can't find it now. I can just see if I can maybe put it into post later.
I found it. So the photo that they recreated, I didn't find. I'm not going to show the recreated version, but I'll show you the photo that they were trying to recreate
Oh, okay.
because I think it is also a really good example of his like contrasted black and whites. And really, all it took was me googling Helmut Newton photo of woman in the streets of Paris.
Oh, that's all it takes. I feel like I don't know why, but this looks like a vaguely familiar photo to me. I don't know if I've actually seen it before, but for some reason, like just the way she's standing just feels familiar.
Right?
I don't know why. I don't think I've seen it really. Maybe I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know, but I really like it.
Yeah. So, this photo was taken at night, which is
Okay.
crazy.
So it looks like, I know it's not, but it looks like she was cut and pasted on top of this background.
Isn't it crazy?
Because she looks a different
And
lighting than the background
he
does.
he didn't use artificial lighting for this. The people recreating the shot didn't use artificial lighting. He had her stand close to one of the streetlights,
Yeah.
and somehow it came out like this. I don't know. It's kind of cool. I just really like this one.
I really like it. Love her outfit. Just he just he makes it look so effortless. But when you tell me that, I keep thinking like he keeps saying that nothing is effortless. Like he did everything.
But it
It's
looks like he didn't pose it
crazy.
because it doesn't look
Yeah.
forced.
Yeah,
It's
exactly. I feel like it'd be really
it's
hard to
like
not make it forced.
I think like what it is just waiting for the right moment. Like you have that person in that position for a while and then you just wait for like the right
Mm,
moment to like press the shutter. The moment where
mm.
they finally like relax into the pose. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. It's inspiring.
Wow.
Oh yes. Okay, so we did the Nova series, which was the women like of the pictures we just looked at except for the street one.
Yeah.
Um so he did some so this is 1983 and 1985 are the last two that I have. They're both actresses. So Sigourney Weaver, he did a portrait of Sigourney
Heard of
Weaver.
her.
I guess she's known as, I had to look her up,
Oh,
because I was like, I know it sounds
she's
familiar.
pretty famous. Pretty famous
Um,
actress. Alien. Alien movies.
yeah, she's known as the, what is it, like the Queen of Sci-Fi or something, or
Well, because we're actually watching the one of like the Alien spin-off series called Alien Earth. Anyway, she's not in it, but
oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not really big on sci-fi
okay.
myself.
That's okay.
I actually don't really love sci-fi. I get nightmares from sci-fi stuff. Um, but okay, so
It's
this is a cool
true.
photo though. I really love like,
Yeah, I love
these her
that.
with like these film negatives. It's like cutting her face in half.
That's so cool.
Yeah, super cool.
I really like that. And like her hair looks shiny too. It's like her is dark. And so and it's shiny, so it kind of frames it well.
Yeah,
It balances the left and the right a lot. That's really cool. I
yeah.
wonder what that
It kind of looks
film
like
is.
I know. Yeah, I can't really tell, but it looks like maybe it could be movie frames because
It's like a lot of the same picture over and over and over again.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I
yeah. I
think it's
think it
like
must be like a film roll, film
yeah,
roll.
like from an actual movie.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, which makes sense since she's an actress.
yeah. Makes sense.
So it's
Checks out.
kind of cool of him to incorporate that.
Yeah, that's
There's
really
one more
cool.
I have of her, and that's this one.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah, very cool.
I love like the angle of
So
her arm versus like the straight angle of the film reel. Like that is so cool.
I could see a little bit more of her features in this one.
Yeah. I love the black and white like diagonals in the corner there.
Yeah,
Like
it's
it's like
really dramatic.
it's so dramatic. I love dramatic lighting. That's just like my weakness. So
Yeah, I hear you.
so cool.
And then the last one I have to show is Elizabeth Taylor, which ended up on Vanity Fair. This image was extremely hard to download and to get, so I'm sorry if it's bad quality. Yeah, so just her with her pet parrot,
Casual. You know, everyone
casual.
has that. Everyone has a pet parrot that they sit with in the pool with a diamond necklace
A
on.
lot of people
It is
have done like recreations of
normal.
his. A
Normal.
lot of people have done recreations of his images, by the way.
I can see
Um,
that.
I,
I could
I
there's
saw a couple of like recreated versions of this in the process of trying to get this image.
I just noticed her reflection in the pool. Because like I keep just my eye goes to her and the parrot and then the chair, but I just noticed that she had actually there's like a reflection. I just
You know
saw
what's
the
funny is that I didn't actually even look at that yet. I hadn't even gotten, like, I didn't even notice that.
Also, fun fact, she has scoliosis. I say that, I literally say
Oh,
that
really?
every time. It's probably not as bad as mine, but I'm just saying.
I didn't know that.
I say it every time. I know because I looked up actors that have it
Um,
or had it. She's not alive anymore. Sorry.
aw.
Are you able to zoom in? Like if you
Um,
scroll in, are you able to zoom at all?
I'm trying. Yes.
Yay!
Quality is not great, but that's okay.
It's okay. Yeah, she's wearing
Yeah,
like is that diamond earrings or like sapphire? Like look, I can't really tell like what that is, but
I don't know, but I love how her necklace and her earring, like her earrings are matching.
it's so dramatic.
Um,
Just like the what she's wearing
yeah.
is
Even
dramatic,
like
and then
even
also
her
the
makeup is really dramatic. Yeah.
yeah.
So really cool. Makes me
Wow.
want to be a fashion photographer. I think I'd want to do it sometimes, but I don't think I'd want to do it all the time,
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
I hear you.
But yeah, so I think that was a pretty good sampling of his work. But if you have any other questions, let me know. And I will try to look them up or answer them for you. He did end up sadly, tragically dying in a car accident in
Aww.
2004, so he's no longer alive. But yeah, he was pretty legendary.
Wow. Yeah, I've always heard of his name before, but I've never actually really like looked into his like artwork.
Me neither.
But yeah, like definitely heard of the name. And I was wondering like because I know he's very posed. Like, does that? And I guess you kind of answered it. Like, but like, do you ever want to do that with your own photography? Like, because I know you're very much not very like super posy, and
I think where I am right now, with my style is slightly evolving right now to where I'm not, I'm less and less documentary, like, meaning like I still do document the in between moments, but I'm becoming a little bit more planned with like portraits. And I do think that it might just be something that comes with experience that once you kind of know what looks good or you're like not afraid to like push the boundaries of stuff, is like where you kind of start liking it more. Because I've been feeling like I kind of want to add a little bit of that to my work. And I mean, I've done it before, like when I worked with like some of the models that I used to practice with. Like I've done posing of models and things like that. And I have been finding myself kind of missing it a little bit. I think just having sort of a combination of both would be kind of like
yeah,
a best of both worlds for me. So I think that right now that's where I'm at. My style is evolving a little bit to be a little bit more editorial.
to
And I'm
be
kind
yeah,
of at a point
balanced.
where I don't want to do only weddings. I think eventually I would like to be able to make the connection to be able to do both weddings and work in fashion somehow, but not necessarily like it wouldn't necessarily like be needing to work for like fashion magazines, but like maybe even just doing like photo shoots for like bridal designers, like photographing the dresses or something like that. I'm kind of like thinking about that more recently about how I can kind of combine the two to where I'm not just doing the same thing all the time. Um,
Yeah,
I can kind of like mix it up and give it some like variety and keep it interesting.
yeah, and I think that would be that would really like marry the two together. Marry literally the
Yeah.
like it would yeah it would be interesting because like that could also because you're doing if you do like bridal photography as in like fashion photography perhaps you'll get more interest with people that are literally getting married like maybe you'd be still in that world that you could still do wedding
It does.
photography.
It gives you a little bit of street cred with people who are looking to hire photographers that might have maybe some experience with like more like portrait driven or editorial based work. And I think like it would just be really cool to be able to be in Vogue one day, regardless of
Yeah.
like how that happens. Like if it's because like I photographed a collection of something, or if it's because like one of my weddings got published in Vogue, like I think it would be cool. And then to see like what kind of things happen as a result of that.
Well,
Um,
I don't think we actually talked about it in the
I'm not
podcast,
really
but
opposed to like evolving as a photographer and going into other areas of work either. Like if
yeah.
something presents itself that I think is interesting and that I'd want to try, like I'd probably do it. Um, and I do happen to know like in this particular area of Massachusetts, I do know like models that I used to practice with, so it's easy to kind of like, come up with a concept and like do something with them if I would want to.
Yeah.
I just haven't really been feeling all that creative lately because I feel like I've been working so hard on weddings and putting all my efforts, because I'm doing everything obviously myself right now. So like putting all my efforts into like marketing and the business end of that has sort of taken away from the time I would have to kind of brainstorm other kind of shoots.
Yeah.
Um, which is fine. It's just like, eventually I would like to kind of get back to doing some more of other stuff too.
Yeah. Well, I think it's everything's a balance, and so you could still do both, and it's okay. As we've like seen throughout all of these artists that we've been looking at, they change their style and they evolve in so many different ways. So that's like totally normal to do that. So, which is why I always get frustrated. People are like, "Oh, you got to stay with your one thing," and I'm like, "Well, but is that gonna help you though? Like grow? I don't know." So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, like I saw a video on TikTok recently of a creator who was saying, people are going to tell you that you need to niche down to be successful in photography. And she was like, it is true. You have to niche down, but you don't have to niche down permanently. Like she was like, you just need to niche down for right now. And then you can niche down into something else later on. Like
Yeah.
she was basically just like focus on one thing at a time is what she was saying. Which I thought
Yeah,
that was kind of interesting.
it is interesting. Yeah, just try not to put too much pressure on yourself. But I do think that it's inspiring either way to look at what other photographers are doing and seeing that,
Oh
like,
yeah.
there isn't just
I
one
feel
way
inspired
to do.
I feel inspired, like, just having looked at, like, Helmut Newton's work today. Like, I kind of got a little antsy looking at his work because I was like, oh, I want to recreate this one because I saw videos of people recreating and stuff. I
Yeah,
was like, I want to recreate this one or whatever. Like, I feel inspired by that. So,
that is so much fun, though. I think I have seen videos of people doing that. And I think it's just inspiring to do that because it just gets your creative juices flowing, which is gross. I hate saying
right.
it, but yeah, the
hmm
juices.
It's good practice too.
And it's good
Yeah, no, I think it's
practice.
fun.
Um, but yeah, that's really interesting. And I even though my main thing isn't photography, I still find it really interesting about how people create their own art. And so I appreciate you showing this artwork today. Um,
Yeah,
and
of course.
yeah,
Happy to do it.
yeah, it's really cool. I gotta think about the next artist that we're gonna talk about. But yeah, it's always very fascinating stuff. I guess we will have to wrap things up. Do you have a nostalgic memory for us today?
I mean, we could do a very recent one. Beth and I
You're
have been
gonna say the
watching Outlander, Blood in My Blood together,
we
um,
talked about.
and it's been really fun to say the least. Just the commentary during while we're watching the show together is very funny. I wish sometimes that we were recording.
Oh my god. Well, just because it's like there are a lot of people that do like reaction videos to like shows and stuff. That's a whole rabbit hole that I'm afraid to ever actually go down. But I don't know. I think it's always so much more fun watching a show with somebody else, even though if you're just not actually there. It's just fun commentary, and there the craziest things happen. The craziest things happen in Outlander.
Yeah.
Even the new spin-off series, there was a I know we've talked about Outlander so many times in
They're
the
keeping it
past, but
interesting.
they've been interesting. It's just as jarring sometimes, but
Yes.
they just
It's just as
they
sad
know,
sometimes too.
yeah, they know what they're doing, and yeah, you will cry, but
I
that's
actually haven't cried yet in this one, but
I haven't
um
cried, but got a little teary eyed before,
yeah. Yeah,
but
I'm sure that I will.
but yeah, it's coming. Um, anyway,
Thanks for watching,
yeah,
guys. We're
thank
gonna
you
do
so
more of these like
much.
educational type ones. Next time we'll be an artist. But yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys. Let us know what you thought in the comments. Let us know if we were terribly wrong about some historical fact. I
Yes.
please
Yeah.
correct me. Um, anyway, yeah. So thank you guys.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.